friends, my name is Megan and welcome to my 46th Flosstube episode. If you are new here, welcome. This is a channel that is mostly about cross stitch. I do share my other hobbies here when I've worked on them, but I did just bring stitching to share with you today. And if you're returning, thank you so much for coming back and spending time with me. I appreciate all of you even more than you know. Today is Sunday. It is December the 3rd, and it's been a dreary, foggy weekend here in Maryland, which is weather that I love, but is not necessarily conducive to good Flosstube filming. So I do have a lot of artificial light set up here, and hopefully that will help show projects more accurately. And I know that there might be some glare in my glasses as we go through this, but you know, we're gonna do the best with what we can, right? I hope everybody had a wonderful November. We made it through November, which sometimes is all you can ask for, and now here we are in December, so that's pretty good. Just, you know, gearing up for the winter holidays. We went and braved the mud yesterday and got our Christmas tree, and looking around my dining room, it's kind of in shambles because the transition of putting fall decorations away and pulling winter decorations out is in full swing. So hopefully as I go through this week, which will be a busy one, I'll have time to finish putting everything up, and then we can just settle in for a nice cozy December, which is all I want. Is to be cozy all the time. So anyways, everybody is doing okay here. I hope everybody has been well. I know it's only been maybe 3 weeks or so. I don't know that it's even been a month since I filmed my last update. And so I do have some things here to share with you. I have some things that I've fully finished. I brought a couple of past fully finishes to share. And then I've got everything else that I've worked on. I've got some new starts, some finishes. I will say, for as excited and into my stitching as I was in October, I wasn't necessarily the opposite in November, but I did struggle some, and you will see that shortly. So I think that we should probably get right into it. It's a little bit later, it's a little after 5, and I know that we've got a lot to still do this evening, so let's get into it. I think I will start with some new things that I have fully finished since last I saw you. Some of these you will have seen in progress and some you will have not. So I've shared before that I do like stitching ornaments for my coworkers. They're all super into Christmas, and I am not. And so this seems like the thing that I would like to do for them. And I shared updates throughout the year. I think I started them in July, and I have been stitching the Merry Witchmas Advent Day 19 by Laurel Witch. I'll put the correct information down here. Her shop is open or not open, or I'm not really sure what's going on there, but anyways, I'll put the name of it here. And that's what I chose to do for the coworkers in my department. And when I started in November, I had 3 of them done and had a little bit of a start on the next 3, and I freaked out a little bit, like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to get these done. And so I kind of stress stitched the rest of those ornaments in the beginning of November, and then last weekend I finished them up. So here's how they turned out. They're all the same. This was stitched on 36 count Nantucket Brew, I believe, by R&R, using the called for DMC with the exception of the white. I used a DMOP. Hopefully you can, I doubt you can see that. So this is how they turned out. I have this little fabric on the back that I liked, not too Christmassy. A little black ribbon, a little velvet ribbon, a little bow. I do not enjoy making bows. I don't know how people do this all the time. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All of these are done now. So they will go to my coworkers a little later in the month. And you know, I don't know if I've ever showed this, but I was working on this. This project lives in this project binder, I guess. I don't know what to call this. But I have actually started this. There's gonna be a zipper noise. And I don't like my start for it, so I am going to maybe restart it. I'm not sure. But I started it. I had an idea for something I wanted to do with it, and I started it 1/1 on this 22 count, I think. And I've stitched 3, and I was on 4. In fact, the needle is still in there. It's probably not good. But I put them too close together for the finish that I wanted to do. So I don't think I count that as a real work in progress. But there's all kinds of supplies in here. There's more fabric and all kinds of stuff. So I need to probably clean that out and move on. So those were for the coworkers that are in my office. I also stitched, well, I didn't stitch, this was a beading project that I made for my boss. This is by a company called Wonderland Crafts. They are Ukrainian, I believe. And so with these kits, you get like the wooden piece, all the wooden pieces, and you bead directly onto them, and it's got a diagram and everything's labeled and everything like that. I did make a couple of mistakes at first, but eventually I got there. So this is the one I did for her, and here's how it turned out. I have to put ribbon on the top still. Hopefully you can see. Little tassel, wooden tassel at the bottom. I don't know if you can see how glittery that is, but that's what I made for her. I have another one of these kits, and it's another little lantern with a cardinal inside. And I think I'd like to do that one maybe for myself. My boss collects lanterns or likes lanterns, so I thought she would like that. And I have one more coworker gift. Oh, it's living on this little plate because I haven't packaged it up yet. I need to keep it safe, like up in my closet. Anyways, you don't care about that. The last coworker ornament that I made was from Liz Matthews' Patreon, maybe last year. It was a little Christmas tree. And this particular coworker, last year I stitched her Liz Matthews' little ivy pattern, which was super cute. And this year I did a little Christmas tree, a little green on the back. Cute, cute. So I'm happy with how that turned out. And then the last ornament that I made, I'm part of a women's organization, a nonprofit women's organization, and we, at our December business meeting, we're gonna have a white elephant exchange, and so I stitched a little ornament for that. And this is just something that I designed myself. It's the name of our town, where our organization, our chapter of our organization is based out of. So yeah, just stuff out of my stash for all that. I'm really happy with how that turned out. So that'll go with like a little mug and some hot chocolate and whatnot for one of the ladies there. So those are all of my current finishes, and I thought I would share with you some of my older finishes. So like I've said before, I am not a big Christmas fan. It is not my holiday of choice, if you will. And I've stitched a few different Bah Humbug pieces over the years. This first one I stitched back in 2017. I tried to make a couple of notes because some of these are older and I can't remember. This pattern is from a booklet called K. Nicholas Claus, Saint by Cricket Collection. And this is a Bah Humbug sheep, I guess. This was stitched on a piece of 28 count, I think tea-dyed Monaco, using, I'm sure, the called for DMC, and was just finished as a little hoop with some gray on the back. So there's that one. Another Bah Humbug piece that I stitched was from Park Hopper Bart, and it's this one here. I love this one. I love the crazy frame. I want to say maybe it's a Laura Ashley frame. It came from Amazon. But I love stitching up that one. Cute. And then one more Bah Humbug piece was from Calico Confectionery. This pattern I got from my friend Anne, and I made it into this little pillow. This is not a Christmassy finish for sure. There's the fabric on the back, but it sits out in my stitching room upstairs all year. Another past finish that I have here. This is Father Christmas 1838 reindeer. I wrote that down. I think it is by, I want to say it's by Calico Confectionery too. I could be lying to you. If I think about it, I'll put it down below. But I stitched him back in 2020, obviously, because he is a very unhappy Santa. And that was not a very great Christmas. So he actually sits out on a little easel. He's just on a little mat board, I think. So there's that one. This one I finished earlier this year, I think. This is, I fully finished earlier this year. This is the Skeletal Santa Strawberry by Lucy Beam. I love how this one turned out. He's big and chunky. He sits in a little bowl here on my table. Here are 3 little ornaments that I stitched. These are from Shakespeare's Peddler, Evie's Christmas ornaments, I think. These were stitched on 40 count shadow by Picture This Plus. And there were 4 ornaments in the little booklet, and I ended up stitching 3 of them. Just a little bit of velvet on the back, and I made the little beaded hangers. I think I fully finished these last year. And I love them. I think they are so pretty. There's those, and I've got one last piece to share. This is a little bit of a bigger one. This I stitched in 2019, I think. And this is It Must Have Been the Mistletoe by Heartstring Samplery. I pulled this off the wall. I have, if I think about it, I'll put in a picture in my living room back here. There's a little corner of the wall where I have these pieces hanging, because my stuff stays out all year. When I pulled this off the wall, I couldn't really tell when it was far away, but it is definitely a little crooked in the frame. I would say that I'm going to fix it, but I won't. This is stitched on a piece of 36 count Sea Salt by Color and Cotton. It's a little bit of a light green color, and I used a purple and a green to stitch it. And I really, really loved stitching this. I've got another one of her patterns in this series. I think there's a couple of them that I would like to stitch one day. That was a lot of fun. So, all right, those are some of my past finishes. I love when people share their older finishes, because, you know, we see people work on them here for so long, and then finally they're finished and it's so exciting, and then they fully finish them, and then it's so exciting, and then we never see them again. So I love when people share their older finishes. All right. So what did I work on besides those ornaments in the month of November? When I filmed last time, I think I was still working on this. This was a piece that I started on Halloween for my anniversary, and that is We Are Fine by Mama Witch X Stitch. You can see this poor paper. Got quite loved over the time that I was working on it, and I shared in a previous video that this very much reminded me of this picture of Erin and I. And I thought this represented us perfectly. So I was stitching on this. It lived in this cool bag from Diana. It is Kismet vinyl front bag. I stitched it on a piece of 36 count First Kiss by Fortnite Fabrics, using the called for DMC with the exception of the black and the white, which I substituted Sulky for. And here's my finish. This was a lot of fun. It was very, very cute to stitch. I really enjoyed it. I wasn't super happy even with the Sulky on 36, the coverage on the black, but I think from far away it looks fine. So this was great. Cute little stitch. Loved it a lot. So I finished that up, and then my birthday is in the beginning of November. It's November the 9th. And I had planned to start a project, and then Cross Stitch Kate, who shares the same birthday with me, she had also planned, I think, 8 starts, because she turned 38, I turned 39. And she pulled this out and said that she was going to start this, and so I I started it along too, and then as I was watching her last video, it occurred to me that yeah, I started it, but I never like shared with her that I started it. So Kate, here, look, I started it too. And that project is A Year in the Woods #9 by Cottage Garden Samplings, the Woodpecker. The series was most generously gifted to me by my friend Hannah. After she stitched them, she passed them on to me, and I appreciate that greatly. I got to see Hannah today. She's wonderful, hilarious. I'll make sure I link her channel below. So I started this. This project is living in this, oh, there's thread everywhere. Oh my. In this pine cone bag that I made. I'm stitching it on a piece of 36 count Fantasy by Fortnite Fabrics using most of the called for DMC. It does call for 2 Weeks Dye Works Kohl and another one, and I only had one of them in my stash, and I ended up substituting the other color for something else. So here's where I got this fabric. I really like this fabric. So here's where I got, not too far. But that's a good little start. Stitching this 2/2 on the 36 count so it looks nice and bold. I kind of wish I had picked a variegated floss for the trees, but I was not in that headspace when I was getting this one ready to go. So that's nice, and I think I'll be able to fit another one like on this side down here. Maybe the beaver will go on the same piece of fabric. We'll see. Either way, I love that one. So this next project derailed me, friends. This next project is Ellen Harrison 1889 by Needlework Press. And I love this pattern, and I've loved this pattern for a long time. Several years ago, when the little microfiber cloths came out, I bought one of these and I pinned it up at my desk at work, and it's still pinned up at my desk at work, and I look at it every single day. I've loved this pattern for a long time. And when I went on my trip to Arizona, I purchased this pattern at the attic with my friends Laura and Emily, and we got to see the original, and it was wonderful. And I've been thinking about this and excited to start this for so long, and I just really struggled with it. I don't know if I like built it up in my head too much, but I questioned all my choices. It was a whole journey that we went on. So let's get into this a little bit. So this is the pattern. It's living in this beautiful bag that my friend Erin so kindly gifted to me. Thank you again, Erin. I love this bag. I am using the color and cotton conversion that Emily C. Came up with when she went to the color and cotton store earlier this year. Oh, there is a color missing from here. There's a dark brown. I think it's called Up on the Rooftop. These colors are gorgeous. And what was I going to say? Sorry, I lost my train of thought right there. Oh, I have a lot of phone anxiety, and so I emailed them and asked them for the Emily C conversion, and they said, absolutely, we got you, and they sent me a PayPal invoice, and it was a great transaction. So beautiful colors. And I had originally picked a piece of 40 count Overcast by Color and Cotton. The called for fabric is Ale, which, you know, is a darker kind of goldeny brown, but I really felt, based on the picture and based on seeing the original, that it should be on like a more gray color. So this is the color that I originally picked, and I started it, and I did not like it. I was like, oh my gosh, this looks terrible, you can't see it. We'll get back to that. So I started on this. No, I don't like it, you can't see it. Went back to my stash. I pulled out a piece of Prairie Grass by Seraphim. Started it again. Can't see it. Can't see it. And I was like, okay, maybe I'm going in the wrong direction here. Maybe it can't be on a gray. So I pulled out a piece of Tumbleweed, 36 count by Color and Cotton. I was like, okay, I'll do it over 2. Nope, you can't see that either. And so I was starting to get very frustrated. And I was like, okay, well, I'll go back to the original color that I had picked for this, which is Old Linen by XU Design. It's a much darker gray. I know you can see it. So I started it on this. and you can see it great. These colors are definitely getting more washed out than they are in real life. This is a much richer, almost purpley gray. And I liked this. I was like, okay, I can see it. That's great. And I put it to the side. I put it up in my stitching room, and I was just like looking at it. It was in the Q-snap, and I was looking at it, and I was looking at it, and I was just like really overthinking this, like a lot. And I decided I didn't like this either because this is not the right color. This is like purple gray. I didn't like that. So then I picked out, went back to my stash, and I was like, oh, I've got this 38 count fabric. This is a silk weaver, and there's like some funny blue splotches on it. I guess it's like dye splotches. And I was like, oh, I think this color will work. And the dye splotches that are on here that I don't like get covered up by the stitching. And so I started it here. And again, I did not like it on this at all. You can't really see it, and I don't like it. So that was I was feeling very discouraged by all of this. Very discouraged. I like killed my stitchy bug. I kept putting it to the side. I would start something and put it to the side. Like I wasn't doing this like all in one evening. And so I thought about it, and I thought about it, and I thought about it, and I overthought it some more. And finally, I was like, you know what? Let me go back to the original color that I chose. I didn't really give it a chance. I put in like a little bit of each thread, and it wasn't right. Or I didn't feel like it was right. And this time I was like looking at it upstairs in the bright light of the daytime, and I was like, this does not look as bad as I think that it looks. And so I was like, you know what, let me give it a little more time on this, and let's see how I like it. And so I spent the last few nights working on it again, and now I freaking love it. I'm almost ashamed to say that I absolutely love it. This you can actually see a little bit better in real life. This is the color and cotton on this top line, and this is the called for DMC on this bottom line. My house is really dark with very kind of yellowy toned lights in it. And stitching this in the evening, it does not, like the greenish yellowy color does not show up well, but in the daytime it's fine. So maybe the moral of this story is to trust your instincts, go with what you love. I'm really, really loving how this is turning out. And I'm probably gonna try to work through and maybe I'm almost done this page now. I've got the roof to put in, which should be pretty easy. And I think there's like one motif here and a little, I have to finish this one here. And I think this first page is pretty much done. So, yeah. So that was a whole thing. That was a whole thing. So in between fussing about Ms. Ellen, I put out a couple of my other projects to work on to try to get myself together here. So I did pull out, this is a whip that I started last year. This is Autumn Song by Blackbird Designs. So this has this pattern. It's kind of hard to see, but there's an alphabet that goes around the band here, and then there's this as well. This is needles. So I started this last year. This lives in a little squirrel bag. I am stitching it with the called for colors on a piece of, it's a 28 count, Country French Spring Meadow Green, which I don't know what this fabric is, but it's very soft and it's a delight to stitch on. So what did I do? I added in, I think I finished the bird, and I added in a few more leaves and the acorn. So I didn't stitch on this a whole lot. The other parts will fit on the bottom here. But I gave it a couple of nights. Like I said, my want to keep stitching was low at this point. So anyways, got a little bit more work on that. I had hoped to finish that this year, but that's a lot more stitching. It looks small, but it's deceiving the amount of stitching that I think that's in it. I also pulled out this project that I started last year, and this is Folk House by Not Forgotten Farm. I believe this is what I started for my birthday last year. And this lives in this little Maryland bag that I made. Nothing super special about that. Using the called for DMC, and I'm stitching it on a piece of XG Design sampler khaki linen in the 32 count. And here's what I got. So I didn't get a whole lot added into it. Again, I wasn't feeling super motivated. I added in the squares in the chimney and this flower. I continued filling in the roof. I added in a little bit of this border here and this chair. So that's coming along nicely. Right now this is pretty easy, mindless kind of fill-in stitching. But this project, I was talking to my friend Heather today at our stitch group about stitching in hand. And this project I started in hand last year, and I can tell a big difference between the quality of my stitches from last year to the quality of my stitches from this year. So that's kind of nice to see that I'm getting better at that technique. It is quickly becoming my preferred method of stitching. Yeah, so it's kind of nice to see that. And I thought about taking out some of these kind of sloppier stitches, but no, I'm not going to do that. Anyways, it's coming along nicely. That's good when you don't want to use your brain too much. You just want to put in some X's. So let's see. So that gets us a little bit later into the month, and I was thinking about all of those projects that I had shown you in my last video of things that I thought that I might like to work on for November, and how I tend to neglect my my fall stitching. And I have been thinking about some plans for next year to maybe help me get in a little bit more of that, but we'll see. We'll probably talk about that in my next video. But I was feeling kind of sad that I hadn't got to really get into any of those, and I really had wanted to. So I decided to pull out one of the smaller projects and see if I couldn't get that done and out of the way before the end of the month. So this became my car project, my car stitching, my lunchtime stitching, and that is Crows, Corn, and Cats by Chartmakers. It looks like this. This is an older chart. It's from 2000. I believe it is out of print. I like this one a lot, and I had it in this pie bag that I made, and the colors, I swear to you, the colors in this pattern, the DMC colors, are exactly the colors that are in this bag. The blue, the dark blue, the oranges. I love this bag. So I'm excited to free that up for something else. I stitched this on, I think it's a 28 count. I just like literally grabbed a scrap out of my stash, and I stitched it on that. So there's my little finish. She's cute. That cat is green and orange. I don't know if you can tell. And I looked at it and I was like, I'm just gonna go with it. I don't know if that's supposed to be green and orange for real or not, because there is an error in one of the pumpkins. Like, it shows the lines in the chart as being done in black, but in the picture it's brown, so you can't really tell about the cat. I like it either way, so I'm glad to have that done. That corn turned out really pretty, I think. So there's that. And then after I had showed those plans that I had on my last video, Julie from Kansas City Girl in a Colorado World reached out to me and asked if I wanted to start this project with her. And we had decided to start it on Thanksgiving weekend, and then we both kind of forgot. And it was like late that Sunday, I was like, oh, I better start this. And I sent her a picture. She was like, oh my God, I'll start tomorrow. So we both got it started. And that's great. This project is Not Forgotten Farms, Old Mustard Moon. It looks like this. Julie had gone to, I think, Country Sampler maybe, and they had stitched this on Murky, and she shared a picture of how it looked with me, and I was like, yes, absolutely, that is what I'm going to do. This calls for Week Styleworks threads, and I checked what I had. I pulled out what I had, but mostly I pulled these all from my stash. This is this is a bag that I made out of a t-shirt. And it's not very good because I didn't really know what I was doing. I was kind of making it up as I go, but it's actually the same shirt that I'm wearing right now. This shirt was too small for me, and so I bought it again. So it lives in that bag. And I will mention that this chart is particularly challenging to read parts of it. Some of the symbols are a little close together. So I had to take a picture of a part of it, and like the house, for instance, and kind of blow that up on my phone. So this might be a good one to see if there's a PDF pattern available for, just as a heads up. So anyways, these are the colors that I chose. Just a mishmash of brands there. I did, when I had to pull this to the side because I thought this was ridiculous. When I was looking through what I had Weeks Dye Works wise, one of the called for is moss, and I literally put this away. Why did I do this? This is the amount of moss that I have. It is one strand. Anyways, past Megan, who knows what she's up to. Anyways, I am stitching this on a piece of 36 count Murky, and I'm using one thread on this, and here's where I got to. I love Murky. I have this piece and one other piece of Murky that I have been hoarding in my stash for quite some time. It's hard to see. Right up there is Widow's Walk, and I stitched that on Murky, and that's maybe in like 2016 or 2017 is when I did that one, and that like started my obsession with this fabric. But I never use it because it's like precious to me. So here's where I got to. There is an error in my top border because I was not paying attention. So if you stitch this, it's not always 2 spaces in between. I think it's like there's 3 spaces with 2 and 3 spaces with 3. I did not pay attention, so I had to put in these letters to find the other edge properly. My cloud turned out a little stripy. I might need to do something about that. And then I got down to here. So basically what I did is, if you've ever stitched a Not Forgotten Farm chart, a lot of times she's got like the majority on one page, and then there's like a kind of a skinny page that goes down the side. So I stitched that skinny page and then just went over a little bit to find the other side. So that's coming along. That's going to look pretty cool on there, I think. Thank you, Julie, for that amazing suggestion. I'm excited to be stitching something with you for sure. And the last thing I have is actually something I started a while ago, and it's going to be all kind of crinkled up because I was working on it today. But Quentin loves Garfield. So I got him this, I got this kit a while ago. It's from 1978, and it's a Garfield cross-stitch kit. And I'm not doing this top part, I'm just doing the bottom here. It came with some Ada that I chose not to use, and it's living in this little cute little bag. I am using the the kit threads, and I will say that they are, you know, from 1978. They're a little dry, so I do have to put this in a hoop to work on it. And here's where I'm at. I worked on this today at my stitch group. So all I have left to do is finish filling in the bear here. Is that Pookie? I feel like it's Pookie. And a little bit on the pillow, and then a back stitch for till the end of time. So this is 32 count Star Sapphire linen. This is the last little bit I have of this. I stitched half of Country Cottage Needleworks Main Street on the top half of this, and then I've been using the bottom half for it feels like forever for little projects. So that's where Garfield is. This will be done. This is the last bit of Christmas stitching I have to get done. So hopefully this week I can get that finished up and get into a frame. So that is everything that I've worked on since I last saw you. I know in my last 2 videos I've been going over plans, and I don't really know anything that's going to happen in December. It's a very busy month for everybody, so I decided not to give myself a lot of plans or bring a lot of plans to share with you. I only brought 3 things that I know for certain that I'm starting. And the first one is Holly Bird Ornament. This is by Stitches by Ethel. I saw Ethel today. Hi, Ethel. Ethel is a very good friend, and she create some really cute charts, and I bought this one, I think last year sometime. And I love it. So I got this one ready to go. I'm starting this tonight, and it will be my card project. I need to put it in a bag because it's just in a little plastic right now. So I'm definitely starting that. The other project I know I'm definitely starting, probably tonight as well, is Ellen Ford's Work by Mary Wynn Farm. This calls for Gentle Art Simply Wool Floss, and I did finish kitting this up last year. I meant to start it, I think, last December, but didn't get around to that, so I am starting it. Like I said, probably tonight. I've got all of the wool threads here. I've never stitched with these wool threads, so I'm excited to do that. I thought this was a perfect little project to give that a go on. I'm stitching this on a piece of 32 count Belfast Days Gone By Silk Weaver. Looks like this. And I was putting in a couple little test stitches to see if I needed one strand or two, but definitely one strand with the wool. There is one color that I was thinking might not show up so well on this, so we'll see how I feel about that when I get to it. I hopefully have plans to go to the Stitching Post in Catonsville sometime this month, so if I don't like how this color looks, then I will look for something else. I'll take this with me. And then the only other project that I know for sure that I'm starting this month is Birds of a Feather. This is the Winter Girl. I plan on starting this on December the 21st for my mom's birthday. I think she would have lost her mind over these girls because they are so pretty. Stitching this on a piece of 38 count Cloister Cream that I got at the attic. I got 2 big pieces of this, and I still don't think this is enough fabric for them. Like, let me show you. This fabric is big, right? But this project is big. It's 295 by 384. So I might need to get some more of this Cloister Cream. And I also still haven't decided what I'm doing about the floss. It calls for Weeks Dye Works, and it does give a DMC conversion. I don't particularly want to buy the Weeks Dye Works. So I might go through and see what I have, and just convert it to colors from my stash. I haven't decided yet, but I'm definitely starting this on the 21st. So I've got until then, I guess, to get my life together. Okay, so that's what I know is happening. Hopefully, definitely, in December. All right, the next thing I have for you is a winner to my giveaway. If you remember in my last video, I was giving away this Cuore e Batticuore Christmas pattern. I don't know what this is called, but it was this beautiful pattern and the DMC that goes with it. And the winner of that giveaway is Clothesline Crafts Caroline 2446. So Caroline, if I can, I forgot to ask the people on my last giveaway. I tried to tag them in that video. I don't know if that worked or not. So I'll try to do that, and if not, I will, maybe we could connect on Instagram or something. I'll put my email either way down below. So congratulations. I'd like to get that out in the mail to you as soon as possible. Okay. So the next thing I have to share is a piece of Stitchy Kindness that I received, and I'm not going to go too deep into the backstory of this particular project because that's not my story to tell. But my friend Anne had this piece, and she did not need it for the, she didn't need it. And she offered it to me. She knew that with a very little modification, I would be able to change this project to personalize it to me and Erin. And that project is Love Never Fails by Barbara Anna. So Anne had stitched this and had it framed, and the only thing that I had to do was adjust a letter here. I put my initial here, and then change the bottom box here. I think in the original pattern it says love, but I charted out October 31st because that's when Aaron and I got married. So yeah, this is amazing. She had it professionally framed, so I took it out of the frame. Oops, I forgot about the glare. I took it out of the frame, and I took the pins out of just like the bottom portion, and I unpicked what was in here, and that was an adventure because I accidentally ripped the linen. And so I learned how to repair that. I watched the video from Nicola Parkman about repairing linen, and I had to do a little surgery down there, but I did it, and I don't think anybody can tell. But yeah, this is amazing, and I am so grateful to have this beautiful piece in my home. And Anne's stitching is literally perfect. Anne is such a good friend to me. I don't, not to be dramatic, but when I met Anne, like my whole life changed. She introduced me to the amazing ladies of my stitching group and to the women's organization that I'm in, and she's just all around an amazing person, and I love her very much, and I miss her because she's moved to Pennsylvania, which isn't that far, but we just see each other a little less. So anyways, Anne, thank you again from the bottom of my heart. I love this so much. It's gonna go right above my window right there so we can enjoy it all the time. So thank you again. Whew. Got me a little emotional. Okay, so all I have left to share with you is a few things that came in the mail. This is something that actually came in the mail a few months ago, and I kept forgetting to share it because I had it stored in my closet upstairs and out of sight, out of mind, right? This is a piece of vintage needlework that I got off of eBay. That's what it looks like. And I'm guessing that this was probably a stamped kit, maybe. I did a little digging around online, and I found maybe 2 other instances of it. But it says, "Dear little house, dear shabby street, dear books and beds and food to eat, how feeble words are to express the facets of your tenderness." And I just love this. I'd like to get a little frame for it, I think. I'm not sure that they stitched like this trim on it. I don't know. I don't really know what was going on with this. Back. But I love this, and I need to get it out of my closet and up on my wall for sure. So I've got that, and then I have my Color and Cotton Fabric of the Month. This was November in the color Harvest Wheat. Pretty. I haven't been buying very much lately at all, but I did place an order with Kitten Stitcher. She had in her email that her like her sale stuff was like extra on sale or something, like 50% off. I can't remember exactly, but I did place an order with her. I have not done that in a while, so that was fun to peruse her site. It comes with this little sticker, and I got this cute notebook. This is by Primitives by Kathy. Cute little notebook from Needlework Press. I got the Maria? I don't know how to say this. Clark 1846 sampler. It looks like this. Not interested in doing the top verse, but I love all the things that are going on the bottom here. Very cool. I love that. Crazy deer. I got Anna Mott. Wow, I'm tired, guys. Sorry. 1813. This is by Queenstown Sampler. Bird. This is a New York sampler. From Sheepish Antiques, I got the EB sampler, circa 1810. It says. I definitely saw somebody stitching this, but I can't remember who. But it's pretty funky. I like it. I got Plot of Land by Bright Needle. And so this in the model is stitched over one. It says, "A plot of land A little house, a willow tree, the fruits of a garden for thee and for me. But I would probably not stitch that over one. I don't know, it's pretty big. I don't know. Either way, I'm not starting it right now. It doesn't matter. From Hands to Work, I got Mary Ann's Rules for Living, which looks like this. She says she calls it the Bossy Pants Society. Cleanliness gives comfort, sobriety brings wealth, industry yields plenty, honesty makes friends. Is what that says. And then also I got MB 1834 by From the Heart Needle Art. That's just a pretty and simple sampler. I did get one booklet from Stash Unloading. This is a Leisure Arts leaflet number 954. This is called Old Samplers. And I got it for this one down here. Like this bird's. So that's everything that I have here to share with you today. I hope everybody has a wonderful December, however it is that you make it through. I will be back at the end of December with an update, and I will also do my my yearly whip parade then, which I am so excited that it's whip parade season again. It's my favorite. My favorite videos are always whip parades. Whenever I follow somebody new, that's the first thing I look for is their most recent whip parade. So anyways, I hope all of you are well, and I will talk to you soon. Love you all. Bye.